Well, the reason why I decided to have the procedure in the first place is because I do have a daughter who I breastfed for a year. So my once beautiful full breasts were flat. And I really struggled with kind of gaining my persona as a woman back, you know, and part of that had to do with myself, you know, my self-confidence and kind of getting my body back to the way it was. And one thing that I couldn't change with diet or exercise is the form of my breasts, and so that's when I came to see Dr. Barone, and she fixed that. She gave me my confidence back, and you know, my husband doesn't think it's too bad either. I don't think it necessarily changed the way they perceived me. I think a lot of them were shocked to see that I actually went through it, because it's something that as girlfriends you always talk about, well, I wish I had this or I wish I had that. You always want something you don't have. And I had talked about it ever since I stopped breastfeeding, you know, that I wanted to get, you know, my breast done. I wanted to have my body back, and I didn't really say anything when I booked the procedure, and then after I had it done and, you know, came back home to Fort Worth around all my girlfriends and family, everybody was just like, oh my gosh, well, you look great and you're fine and there's nothing wrong with you. I'm like, yeah, it was pretty easy. Right before I had the procedure done, actually the weekend before, we went to the beach to Port Aransas with a bunch of our mutual friends. And I noticed in the pictures, like when we're all on the beach in our bathing suits, I'm kind of like hunched over, you know, and just kind of, you can tell that I don't have a lot of self-confidence. And then, let's say, I think it was about 4 weeks later, we went back to the beach, and you could tell that I was, you know, standing up straight, and I was more front and center of the pictures, and it definitely realigned my confidence and, you know, made my posture better. I mean, I just was more aware of my body, and I guess more confident in the way that I looked and the way that I walked and talked and, you know, stood up straight, and the way that I, you know, wore my clothes even. So it definitely brought my womanness back. I had the mom part down. I was, you know, that was ingrained in me, but it definitely brought the woman back, the wife back. I would tell them first to do it for you. Don't let anybody else tell you you should get this done, or your friend says, well, I got this done and you should do it. This is only for you. It is your body, and you're gonna be the one going through the recovery. You're gonna be the one dealing with the changes. And there is a little bit of psychological, you know, issues that go in there. You know, your clothes are gonna fit different, and, you know, things are gonna be different. So if you know just for yourself that you want to do this, I would say go for it. Don't be afraid. Dr. Barone is a wonderful doctor. There's medical advances out there to, you know, speed up the recovery time, to ease your pain, you know, and there's follow-ups. There's nothing to worry about in that sense. I think it's just a choice that every woman has to make for herself, and not to be peer pressured by any other outside influence that she has to have this or doesn't have to have it. It's just for you.